Whatever calamity happened to you, any kind of calamity that struck, somebody got in a car accident, somebody got diagnosed with a disease, somebody's family member passed away, somebody lost a job, somebody got into a fight with their spouse and they're getting divorced, somebody, ran away from home. They don't want to deal with their family anymore, so they blocked every number and now they're just gone forever. You have a brother that doesn't talk to you, won't pick up your calls, won't respond to your text messages. You have a son who hates your guts. You have a mother who just walked away from the family. It happens. And people experience different kinds of calamities in life. مَا أَصَابَ مِن مُصِيبَةٍ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. The first thing Allah says, nothing struck anyone ever except that Allah allowed that to happen. Number one. But then the question is, why did Allah allow something so terrible to happen? He says, وَمَن يُؤْمِن بِاللَّهِ يَهْدِي قَلْبَهُ. Whoever truly has faith in Allah, Allah will guide that person's heart. Allah is saying, my heart feels anxiety, my heart feels anger, my heart feels sadness, my heart feels frustration, my heart feels this person got away with something, they deserve justice, they got away with it. My heart feels that it was unfair, my heart feels unrest, my heart feels all of these things. But if I have iman in Allah, Allah will guide my heart through these negative emotions. Actually, some of those negative experiences are a test of my iman, and if I do have iman, Allah will guide my heart. In other words, I'm supposed to go through some of these difficult experiences to truly experience guidance. This will be the way my iman gets secured. And iman is the greatest asset a human being can have, because on Judgment Day, the only thing that matters, إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Nothing will be of any benefit except people who come before Allah and they have a good heart. And the only way to have a good heart is to have iman in that heart. And the only way to have iman in that heart is Allah will guide that heart. And the only way that heart to be guided is to go through a tough experience and hold on to your faith anyway, and not let that be shaken. Allah is telling us to face a traumatic experience, to face it, to deal with it, but deal with it with faith and not let it change you. And this is why the best people that ever lived, the prophets themselves, every one of them are victims of trauma. If you want to use psychological terms, every one of them were surrounded by toxic people. Every one of them had their boundaries crossed. Every last one of them had to experience narcissism. Isn't it? Didn't Ibrahim alayhi salam have a toxic father? Didn't Yusuf alayhi salam have narcissistic brothers? Isn't he a victim of family abuse? Isn't this what was happening to them? Even Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he's being expelled from his own home, he turns back to his father and he uses Ya Abati. He turns, my beloved father. He turns to his father and says, Dad, I still love you. You may not be good to me, but that doesn't mean I will no longer be good to you. And I'll still pray for you to be forgiven. Maybe Allah will turn your heart. I can't do anything about it. I have to leave now. That's okay, but I still care about you. He doesn't say, you know what? You are a narcissist. You are a toxic person. I'm glad now there's a distance between us. I need to keep you away from my own personal healing. This is not his approach. Okay, you could have an argument between husband and wife. Happens. But if you have an argument, husband and wife, and one of you says, you're such an abuser. You're such a gaslighter. Instead of, what does the deen tell us to say? وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنزَغُ بَيْنَكُمْ. Allah says, tell my servants, say something that is better and more beautiful. Because shaitan will try to cause friction between you. There's an argument happening and you hear something painful. You could respond with something that will make things worse. You can also respond with something that can change the direction of the conversation towards something better. Allah is not telling you to walk away from the conversation. Allah is telling you to deal with the conversation. If the conversation is completely out of hand, Allah is saying, إِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. When the ignorant address them, they walk away peacefully. They say peace. They don't walk away stormed out. They walk away peacefully. An extreme case where your own spouse and your own children, according to Allah, are what? An enemy. What do you do in the extreme case? Well, what you do from the pop psychology perspective, the Instagram psychologist can tell you what you do in such extreme cases is you draw some boundaries and you walk away and you heal yourself and you declare them abusers and all this stuff. And what does the Quran say? وَإِن تَعْفُوا وَتَصْفَحُوا وَتَغْفِرُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Okay, and if you can forgive, if you can overlook, you can cover their mistakes. Okay, at one point they became really aggressive, but now they're really sorry about that. Don't bring it up again. Tasfahu. Safaha means to turn the page from safha. You know what that means? I remember what you did last year. You remember? I still remember those words. Do you remember what you said? That's not tasfahu. I'm still traumatized about that. Let me repeat it again as if it happened right. I didn't say it again. No, but it still hurts me though. I'm still traumatized. Therefore, I need to do dhikr of that all the time. Allah says if you can just turn the page, then Allah is forgiving too. Maybe things will reconcile, even in the worst case. There's room for reconciliation. There's room to make things better. If you're too absorbed in yourself, you're not going to look for a solution. The only thing that you want to serve is your wishes.